This is a Fox Sports presentation.
Today, we say goodbye to one of the great NFL stadiums of all time. A stadium with images that cannot be forgotten.
40 men together can't lose. Okay.
Kilmer drops straight back. Being rushed, throws his pass to the end zone of Taylor. Touchdown, Washington.
Great names. Great memories. Great games.
Overboom fakes. Throws the screen, has it batted away and picked off in the air by Darrell Grant. Touchdown, Redskins. Now saved through his hands, and the Redskins will go to the Super Bowl.
As the regular season comes to a close, so does the 35-year history of RFK Stadium. If a stadium could only talk, for the last time, RFK Stadium, the site of today's match between the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Redskins. Another sellout, no surprise there. They've had them since the beginning. RFK Stadium, what a place it is. Pat Summerall here with John Madden, and it's sad in many ways to be a part of the goodbye to this great arena, but it's an honor to be included.
Yeah, it's a real honor, and I think right now there's no place that I would rather be right now than right here at RFK Stadium, and because we've seen so many great players and so many great games here, and I know it has to be a special meaning for you because the first game that was ever played here, you kicked the ball off in the first game. You also scored the first extra point, and you made the first field goal here.
At that time, it was D.C. Stadium. That was a long, long time ago. They've got one more to play today. The Dallas Cowboys against the Washington Redskins. Doesn't mean much to Washington, but what kind of game do you think it'll be?
Well, you know, the Redskins are a little frustrated. I mean, at one point they were 7-1, and at another point they were 8-3, and they thought that this was going to be a meaningful game, and they're frustrated that they're playing their last game here at RFK, and it really doesn't mean anything. Now, on the other side, to the Cowboys, early in the week, Barry Switzer said it's like a bye week, and then he kind of took it back. But he is going to rest a lot of his players today. Troy Aikman isn't starting at quarterback. Wade Wilson will be the starting quarterback. Emmitt Smith isn't even active today. So we're not going to see all the Cowboys, but Barry Switzer did say, he said, we want to rest some players. We're looking towards next week in the playoffs, but we want to win today.
And you know, John, perhaps in the history of the NFL, certainly in modern history, there has been no rivalry like the one between these two teams.
If you know how kickers think, there's the correct rhythm. He had the rhythm. The Redskins lead 3-0. That's the end of the first quarter. The Redskins lead at 3-0, and they're at the Dallas 5-yard line. Blanton's field goal from 30 yards is good, and the Redskins lead at 6-0. Should be Allen again. It is Allen again. And he'll walk around the corner. His 19th touchdown of the year. And the Redskins move further ahead. So Blanton hits the field goal from 19 yards away. And the Redskins add 3 more. That's the end of the first half with the score. Washington 16, Dallas 3. J.B. Howie, Ronnie, and Terry will be along with the Dockers Khakis halftime report following these messages. here at RFK Stadium. Some of the great players that played here over this 35-year history of this arena being introduced to the crowd at halftime. And I'm not sure who got the biggest round of applause, whether it was John Riggins or Dexter Manley or Art Monk. Here, a couple of the guys. There's Riggo. Listen.
81-85, member of the Hall of Fame, Super Bowl 17, MVP, the Diesel, John Riggins. His all-time leader in career sacks, Pro Bowler, member of 2 Redskins Super Bowl teams, Dexter Manley. The Redskins all-time leader in career receptions, Art Monk. Time winner of the NFL's fastest man contest, Darryl Green.
Boy, Darryl Green, who's still active.
And very active today. He really shut out Michael Irvin in the first half. You know, the guys are really enjoying that. You know, it's kind of one last hurrah.
Yeah. Sonny Jurgensen, Billy Kilmer in the background, Lenny Hawes, the great center here.
You wonder how many more times in your life you get to put the jersey on and run out before a crowd. For most of them, it is their last time, but they sure did enjoy it, and the crowd sure did enjoy it. And the players are still out there. There's Doug Williams. You know, they're out there in the middle of the field. I don't think they want to leave. And it's one of those things that sometimes you have an experience like this, and it's your last shot. You just kind of want to hang around there.
Riggo. There's Joe Jacoby. We talked to him earlier.
Gary Clark.
Yep.
There were sometimes, you know, if I were those players, I would look for something to take with me. I would just grab a hunk of that field and take it with me.
Sam Huff. So many great years for the Giants, and then so many great years for the Redskins. Dave Butts.
What they're doing now is they're taking the players off in golf carts, I guess, because some of the players are walking around, and I think some of them are just waiting for their golf cart.
That's defensive back Riggo, and there were some lean years here when he was playing. Boy, you talk about a tough guy. Charlie Taylor. He'd go over the middle.
I don't think any of them wanted to be driven off the field on a golf cart, though.
Unless it was Dave Butts. Most of them ran out.
Mark May was there.
I imagine Norv Turner as Sonny, with the ever-present cigar.
You know, there's a heck of a lot of cigars.
Yeah.
There's Billy Kilmer right behind him.
Yeah.
Darryl Green going and shaking everyone's hand.
Larry Brown. There's Ron McDowell.
Remember Ron McDowell? That was part of the Over the Hill gang. I remember McDowell when he played at Buffalo, and then thought he was through it. Then George Allen picked him up, and lo and behold, there he is with a ponytail. Who would have thought?
He makes the hat look small.
He makes the jersey look small. He used to make offensive linemen look small. Yeah, this is what I love about Darryl Green. I mean, Darryl Green enjoys every moment. You know, in his life, he's always making a memory. And right now, Darryl Green is making a memory. Barry Switzer's not sure what this is all about. He'll high-five the band. You know, Dexter Manley enjoyed this as much as anyone. I think the way he ran out in the field and was waving and jumping and skipping. And
there's Lenny Hawes.
He was out on the field before the game, snapping to Sonny Jurgensen.
There's Riggo.
I think the real love fest here is with John Riggins and his fans. I think it always has been.
There's Bobby Mitchell, who's part of the administrative staff of the Redskins now. He's the first black player ever to play here.
And they're all enjoying this moment. They're taking a lap now. This is kind of a victory lap. Gary Clark. Just had him. We were doing that all-time Super Bowl team and have Gary Clark as part of that.
Charlie Taylor started off as a halfback, wound up as a wide receiver, but
Yeah, they were out there in the middle of the field, and now they go around and take this lap, which is great because then all the fans get to see him, all the fans in the stadium.
That adds up to a pretty successful first half, I'd say. Two tight end set up for the Redskins. Touchdown.
That's number 77, Trey Johnson. See that? That was the block that got Terry Allen in.
23-3. Here is the NFC Mitsubishi playoff picture. Green Bay, Carolina, and Dallas, the division champions. The wild cards, the 49ers, Minnesota, and Philadelphia. Philadelphia goes to the 49ers next week, and Minnesota goes to Dallas. Have I got it right? That's the end of the third quarter then. 23-3, the Redskins over the Cowboys. This is the Miller Lite play of the game. Gus Frerotte, record breaker for Terry Allen.
About the RFK and the stadium and the last time, but they still hate the Cowboys here too.
Setting fire to the Cowboy helmet. And John, your final thoughts about today and about the season for these two?
Well, it's just my final thoughts are really about being here at RFK. And like I said earlier, there's no place that I would rather be than right here in RFK Stadium today, because there were so many great moments here, and moments that we've been together over the years and games. And it wasn't just one play or one group or one guy. It was a combination, to me, the memories of all the fans, and how great they were, and how this whole place would shake and jump, and and the fight song, and the Hogs and Riggo and players and close games, and Joe Jacoby going against Lawrence Taylor, and the great battles, and Joe Theismann, and all the players and things that happened here, and you just kind of collect them all and put them right in here and say, doggone, this was pretty good.
When you walked in here, you just got sort of a damp feeling when you walked through the dugout out onto the field, when you walked up into our booth, when you came here as a player, as I did way back in 1961. You had that feeling of intimacy. You were close to the fans. You were right there with them. They got to know you. You got to know them. Whether they hated you or whether they liked you, you were right there with them. There's no place like it. All the new stadiums they can build are going to be a thing that's necessary, no question about that. But you're never going to get the feeling that you had here.
Yeah, but we're losing that. I mean, we lose RFK, and then you think Lambeau Field is there and Soldier Field is there. I mean, we still have some of them, and you still have some of those memories the way football used to be, and the way it should be. Played on grass and all those things. And we look at these guys celebrating. You think, the Redskins, they go home, their season's over, and Dallas, they just want to get out of town and get ready for next week. And I don't know if they can. I mean, I don't know. I think defensively, maybe they can, but their offense really didn't get started all year. I mean, I thought they were the best team coming in. They never played like the best team, but until someone beats them, you have to say that they're the best team.
They are a group that feels
that they can turn it on and off when they want to, but I'm not sure you could do that. I'm not sure they could do that one more time. We'll take you back. We'll be back with the studio and the playoff situation in just a moment.